Have you ever woken up in the morning, gone through your daily routine, and felt like you were living the same day over and over again? The alarm goes off, you hit snooze, you drag yourself out of bed, maybe you grab a quick breakfast if you have time. And then you head off to school, or to work, or to whatever responsibility is waiting for you. And while you're sitting there, maybe in traffic or on a crowded train, maybe staring at your computer screen with endless emails or tasks, there's this quiet thought that whispers inside your head. Is this really it? Is this all life is supposed to be? That thought, that whispers, the start of something powerful. Because deep down, you know there's something wrong with the way the world tells us to live. You've probably heard the phrase The Matrix before. And not just from the movie, people use it to describe this invisible system that keeps most of us trapped. A system that teaches you from the time you're a kid to obey, to follow, to fit in, to trade your freedom for security, and to never, ever question why you're doing what you're doing. It's like we've all been programmed to live someone else's life. And here, the truth that very few people want to admit. 99% of people stay broke, stuck, and unfulfilled, not because they're lazy, not because they're not smart enough, but because they never wake up to the fact that the system is designed to keep them exactly where they are. Think about it. From the time you're little, you're told to sit in a classroom, raise your hand, wait for permission, and memorize things that may not even matter to your real life. You're told to get good grades so you can get into college, then you're told to get a degree so you can get a job. And then once you get that job, you're told to work hard, climb the ladder, pay your bills, and retire someday, if you're lucky. And what's waiting for most people at the end? Regret. Exhaustion. A life that was safe, but not fulfilling. A life where your dreams were traded away for a paycheck. The truth is that this system, this matrix, isn't here to make you free. It's here to keep you small, predictable, and dependent. That's why most people feel stuck. That's why most people feel like they're living on autopilot, and that's why only 1% ever truly break free, because breaking free requires not just money, but a complete shift in your mindset, your habits, your courage, and your willingness to live differently. Now, let's get real for a moment. Why do 99% of people stay broke? It's not just about money, it's about mindset. They stay broke because fear controls them. Fear of failure. Fear of what other people will think. Fear of stepping outside the rules and being judged. People stay broke because they trade their dreams for comfort. It feels easier to keep going to that same job, even if you hate it, than to risk building something of your own. It feels safer to scroll on your phone and escape into entertainment than to sit with your discomfort and ask yourself, what do I really want out of life? It feels easier to wait for the weekend, for the holiday, for retirement, instead of taking ownership of today. But here, that's the thing you need to know. The matrix can only hold you if you let it. The door is unlocked, but most people never even try to walk out. And if you're still listening right now, it's because a part of you knows you're meant for more. A part of you is tired of being told what to do, how to live, and what your worth is. A part of you is ready to break free. Breaking free doesn't happen overnight. It happens through a decision. It happens through a moment when you finally say, enough. I will not live my life asleep. I will not spend my one shot at existence being a slave to someone else's system. I will not settle. And when you make that decision, something inside you shifts. Suddenly, you're no longer looking at the world the same way. You begin to question everything. Why you work the way you work, why you spend your money the way you spend it, why you give your energy to things that don't light you up. And here's the good news. Once you question, you begin to see. You begin to see opportunities everywhere. You begin to see that you don't have to wait for permission to create, to start, to build, to live. You begin to see that you can learn skills on your own, build something online, start a side hustle, create content, sell a product, invest in yourself. You begin to see that wealth, freedom, and fulfillment are not just for the lucky few. Re-available to anyone who is willing to unplug from the matrix and plug into their own power. But let me warn you, breaking free isn't easy. The matrix will fight to keep you in. You'll feel the pull of comfort, the weight of doubt, The opinions of friends and family who don't understand what you're doing. People might say you've changed, that you're being unrealistic, that you're chasing something impossible. But remember this. Every person who ever lived a life of freedom, purpose, and success had to go against the grain. They had to be willing to be misunderstood. They had to walk a path that most people are too afraid to take. So, how do you start? You start small. You start by taking back your mind. Stop filling it with junk and start feeding it with knowledge, with inspiration, with tools that make you stronger. You take back your time. Instead of wasting hours on distractions, you invest those hours into building the life you want. You take back your energy. Instead of giving it to people, jobs, and habits that drain you, you pour it into the things that move you closer to freedom. And here est the most powerful truth I can share with you. You don't need permission to live free. You don't need the system to approve of you. You don't need anyone to validate your worth. You already have everything you need inside of you: the courage, the vision, the resilience, the power. All you have to do is choose to use it. So, let this be your wake-up call. If you've been feeling trapped, stuck, or uninspired, it's because you were never meant to live inside the matrix. You were meant to break it. You were meant to rise above it. You were meant to join the 1% who live life on their own terms, not because they re-special, but because they dared to decide. The world is waiting for you to step up. The matrix is cracking, and every day more and more people are choosing freedom over fear. The only question left is, will you?